Yo, what's up everyone, Akaraien coming to you with a new video. Today, we have a Q&A video and I ask you, my community on YouTube, to ask me questions that you want to know either about me, my personal life. And as a disclaimer, I excluded most of the Smash questions just because I am not doing Smash content anymore, at least not as much. Please understand this and please have respect for that. So, let's get right into our first question. Our first couple of questions come from Manila. I hope I pronounced that right. His first question is, who is your biggest inspiration? And as cocky as this sounds, my biggest inspiration is my future self. I have, unfortunately, in my opinion, I've never really had anybody to look up to ever in my entire life. Ever since I was a little child, I've never understood that concept where it's like, oh, who do you look up to? Who's like your biggest inspiration in life? And then like usually people would say, oh, like this and this actor, or oh, this and this singer. And I always sat there and I'm like, why? Like, what? So for me, my biggest inspiration has always been like my higher self, like whatever I can achieve the most, and I'm looking forward to my future self being the best version I can be, because otherwise there's really no point. So yeah, the only inspiration I really have, if there's like anything, is like maybe anime characters, like, but even then, I don't really think that counts, so yeah. Alright, our next question is, why do you enjoy making content and competing in MMA? And honestly, I don't really think I can give you an answer to that. That's a really, really hard question to answer because MMA, or like just fighting in general, as well as also content, just came naturally to me. There are things that like really just happened, more as like things of my life that I've done my entire life. My entire life I've been playing video games, so making content surrounding video games is like, it just came naturally. And fighting for me just is something that came naturally as well over time. Not directly like gaming, but I've always been playing fighting games when I was younger, so like it kind of translated to that. So I enjoy it because it came naturally to me. There's something I'm just passionate about. I feel like if you're really passionate about something, you don't need to explain why. It's just like your natural way of living. So like how for other people, for example, it's just like eating and sleeping. For me, that's just fighting and making content. It's just another part of my life. Are you still planning to move to the States? Yeah, I'm still planning to move to the States. Even though I quit Smash competitively, this doesn't really stop me from moving to the United States. There's a bunch of benefits for me for moving there, which I don't really have to go in detail right now, to be honest. But yeah, I still am planning to move to the US, and it's gonna happen later this year. So, looking forward to it. Now that I mentioned quitting Smash in my last question, let's get into the question that was asked right after, which was, what was the major point besides money that made you quit Smash competitively? So let's get right into that. To be honest, Smash competitively is just not worth it right now in the current state. All of it is pretty much just you playing on Wi-Fi and on like 20 frames a delay, and it's really not worth it. It's really not worth anybody's time, to be honest, to play this game right now. And even when offline comes back, I do feel like with all the things that happened during COVID with Smash, I don't think this game will make a comeback. Logically speaking, I just did what was a smart thing for me to do, which is quit. If you want to still play the game as a hobby, I would highly suggest it to you. The game is still fun and great and all, and I don't want to let anyone off not playing the game, but making a career out of it is very unstable, to say the least, because you're not going to make enough cash. Like, usually if you're somebody who's an esport, you have a career till you're in your 30s, and then you have to retire due to like either reaction time or just simply not wanting to do it anymore, because it gets tiring after a while, right? The game always changes and stuff like that, or you might not even get good results anymore because your character got nerfed. It's a bunch of unpredictability things going around, and it's just simply not something I want to do in my life. I don't want to be unstable and earn like 1K a month maybe, and then like scrap by as a fucking top player of a game. Like, what? What game/game has impacted your life the most? I'm assuming this means what game/show, because I watch anime and stuff like that, has impacted my life the most. And to be honest, the game that has impacted my life the most throughout my entire life is probably Smash. Smash has been the game very recently that has impacted my life the most in more ways than one. And it impacted my quality of life. I am extremely grateful for what Smash has done for me. Even though it's not a lot, but for a game in itself, it's not a lot. And what shows impacted me the most is an anime show called King on the Shore. Like, that manga/anime pulled everything out of me. Like, I resonate very, very hard with that manga in like every single sense of the way. And I love it. It's my absolutely favorite show by far, and it's blown me out the water. So, the things that happened to me in the recent years, so like 18, 19, 20, and 21, those 4 years have shaped me the most. What do you think the last 3 fighters for the second fighter pass will be for Smash? Honestly, I'm gonna give you my wish list rather than what I think will happen, because I don't know. Dr. Eggman, Goku, and like any edgy character that's like coming next without a sword, please. I think that would be the best. Goku would be a great addition for obvious reasons. The internet would explode, but yeah, that's my top 3. Any advice for new people starting MMA? Also, how long have you been doing MMA? I'm just gonna say this from a martial arts perspective because it's like general advice really, rather than just something in specific. I would heavily suggest you, if you get into MMA, go ahead and go to a local gym near yours and talk to the people and tell them that you're new and you want to start doing MMA and test it out. My best advice is just testing it out first. Because even though you want to start MMA, a lot of people are not built for it. I'm going to be completely honest here. Most people who want to do MMA, actual fighting, are not built for it. There is so many things coming into it which other sports don't have, added on top of it, that it's a really hard thing. As in, the potential of dying. This is more a common thing in boxing and other martial arts rather than MMA, because MMA is more heavily controlled. So if you do, like, for example, boxing, you have a risk of dying. You also have a risk of general, like, another added factor is like fear factor. That one's really big, because in things like soccer, for example, your worst fears you're gonna have is you're gonna goal, and your worst fear you have during a fight is if you're going to like survive and win. And the thing about that is like it's added on top of it, because every fight could be your fucking last. You could have like a major injury because somebody hit you in a certain spot and it's like not recoverable. There are so many things going in, so my best advice is to try it out and see if you can even handle the fear and handle the survival instincts. And after that, just try your best to just practicing and listen to what your teachers are telling you. The only thing I can really give you is mindset advice, and that would take me like several hours to explain what exactly I mean by those, because me, for example, saying things like there is no opponent will, for one person, will just be like, there is no opponent, and they won't get the fucking thing what I'm saying, right? Where I would have to in depth explain what it means, like that quote in itself, and a bunch of other things. So that would be a whole other video. That would be a whole other video that I would have to get into. What music do you listen to in private? Well, to answer that, I listen to like everything, but if I had to pinpoint it, anime music, classical music, lo-fi, probably like just some rock in itself as well, maybe. I guess like mostly like gaming and anime music is what I mostly listen to, because it's also mostly what I surround myself with, so those type of things. If you had the chance to befriend any animal to travel the world with you, what would it be? Do mythical creatures count? Because if so, I would just choose a dragon, because I could fly through the world, you know, that would be a great way to travel. Other than that, I really would not want to travel with an animal, gonna be honest here. I would rather travel by myself, and purely by myself, because I don't see a reason with traveling with other people. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just added baggage to it, especially when it comes to traveling the world, where it's like you have to take care of another person. So for me, if I'm ever gonna travel the world, I will travel by myself, even if I have a wife or not, because it's just something I want to do myself, and I'm gonna act on it on my own. If I have a wife, I have full trust in my partner that they wouldn't do anything during that time where I was gone, so yeah. Alright, and that's it for all of today's questions. Thank you so much for all of them that were sent in. And if I didn't answer one of your questions, it's probably because the question is either not relevant anymore or just things I don't really want to answer in itself. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video today. I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's hit it. Bye.